Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Christelle Martinette. And before I start my July readings, I just want to say, it'll take me about 5 minutes, a few words about dimensions and about the work we do as readers, how it's done, how it's actually done. I've been hearing a lot of people in YouTube throwing around the word Akashic Records and Akashic Records readings, the Tree of Life, and so on. It seems that these are the latest watchwords of the day. But to be able to address a wide audience, because YouTube indeed does address a wide audience, it may be helpful to dispel a lot of the confusion, to clarify a lot of things by explaining where we actually get our information and how. So to do that, I'm going to take a multidimensional perspective. Many spiritual traditions and teachers talk about 10 different dimensions of existence. The equations in physics that are put forth by this theory called superstring theory talks about 10 dimensions of existence. So what is that? Superstring theory is an attempt to explain all of the particles and fundamental forces of nature in one only theory by modeling them as vibrations of tiny supersymmetric strings, tiny energy strings. You hear us often mention when we say our vibrational rate. This is what we refer to. And in the soul work and the soul therapy I do, I've personally always considered there to be 10 dimensions of existence for the soul, with an added to the 11th and the 12th dimension existences reserved to other supernatural beings, or we can call them spirits, we can call them celestial beings, we can call them divine messengers or angels and archangels. And especially recently, could be 10 years, but recently, specifically 2-3 last years, the dimensional levels of our being that we're able to access personally from this dimension, this third dimension, because I'm speaking to you from the third dimensional incarnation with my flesh and blood and bones, we've increased our ability greatly over this past few years of how we access higher regions. We're more and more able to conceive of the choices that we make and the choices that express who we are at the soul level. We're more and more aware of our individuality, that in theory, at least, we also get to be exactly who we are in theory, rather than having to follow some, society norm or convention or cultural norm. But this is not true, of course, for all parts of the world, all parts of the planet, because many people, however, though, are opening up to living by their own unique rules today. And as our thoughts align to who we are at soul level, we can receive then more information and guidance from upper dimensional aspects of our beings at the level of mind. So each of us, however, has an aspect at every single dimensional level. Each of us not only has a third dimensional person, but we have also a fourth and a fifth dimensional person. We're fourth and fifth dimensional beings. We also have an aspect that is sixth dimensional, seventh dimensional, and so on. But while we may not exactly be actively working within these planes, we already exist there. Think of the various dimensions as a cake, a layer cake. They're all one, it's a cake, and they're not separate from one another. They're all in one cake, and all the dimensions are layered one on top of another, and they exist at the same time, exist simultaneously. And every dimension affects another dimensions. Things that happen in one dimension affects other dimensions. And this is why spiritual evolution takes place through our experiences in this third dimension. But, and this is the trick, this density, this third dimension is very dense. Its physical experience is very dense. It makes it the dimension that most affects every other dimensional aspect of our existence. It takes a tremendous amount of energy to affect physical matter. Far more greater energy than it takes to think, for example. Our choices here in this third dimension affect our soul's vibration rate by either aligning to our divine self-expression or not. And the denser the dimension, the more profoundly all other dimensions are affected. And while at a less dense dimension, such as the fifth dimension, where we do clearing work, where I clear work for people, definitely has an effect on a denser dimension as a fourth or third, it takes more time for this effect to take place, and it is more subtle, depending on how self-aware, and this is the proviso, depending on how self-aware we are at these upper dimensional levels of existence. But it's important to think of the different dimensions as different perspective of our being. Dimensions are different from each other, but at a higher, I just want to mention that a higher dimension is not superior to the lower dimensions. They simply have different energetic qualities. And as a soul therapist, I do clearing at the fifth dimensional level in order to affect a person's entire being. And the Akashic records, that word thrown around so much, those are located also at the fifth dimension. The soul vibration rate of a person indicates to us what dimension we are primarily receiving guidance and information from, what dimensional aspect we would identify with as our higher self, while we talk about higher and lower vibration rates. That's what it refers to. So if we live our divine self-expression, we actually have the opportunity to embody our higher dimensional aspects within this human experience. This makes it possible then to access our records, Akashic records, whatever you want to call them, or rather, information of your soul's blueprint, your soul's history. And since all psychics, like myself, can really tap into great stores of energetic information, you can understand that it's really fundamental for you to work with someone you can trust. It's all about love as well, and how they can give love. And as we evolve further, you will begin to be fascinated as your vibrational rate becomes higher. You'll become fascinated with relationships and how our interdependence as humans affects our spiritual evolution. And you'll feel a natural desire to engage with others and serve others through the purpose that you have here. And at the same time, you'll want to engage with whole groups rather than individuals, hence the idea of giving seminars. And your method of manifestation will also change as you evolve. At first, we can manifest or channel information that moves us into action. Basically, we receive guidance on what to do in order to create the outcome that we want. And this is fifth dimensional vibration rate. And as we evolve in time, we begin to draw experiences to ourselves by shifting our states of being, usually through action. And that occurs at the upper fifth dimensional and the lower sixth dimensional rate. And eventually we manifest what we want by manifesting the relationships with others that our soul wants to experience, or by manifesting the relationship we have with ourselves. And this occurs at upper sixth dimension and seventh dimension vibration rate. I hope that these 5-6 minutes have made it a bit clearer for you, because once you evolve spiritually, and we help you do that, you yourself can benefit from tapping into different dimensions, thus receiving directly the guidance you want. That spirit guide team reading that I mentioned on my website, that's what it's all about, becoming in tune to your higher self. Now off to the July readings. Hi Leo, this is Christelle again, and this is your reading for the month of July. And I'm getting around to all of the readings, so slowly but surely it's going to be posted. Let's see what the month of July holds in store for you. Okay, these have all been pre-shuffled. This is the Voodoo Tarot, New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. I have the Angel Tarot, Lira Sibila, and my runes. High energy level, and Leo, very high energy level. really high energy level. Again, here we're talking about birthing something that is coming to fruition after a seasonable period of time that is has been in the works for a while. Now, there's it's all about your tribe, okay, to use a word. It's all about your tribe and having everyone around you. And you, Leo, in this period of time, this July, are in a process of being with other people, you know, but on the one hand, you're with them so you can have an outright exchange of goods, of ideas, of thoughts. And that's pretty clear. That's very clear. On the other, you're way up high above the sky in an area, in a place where you're overseeing. The word is overseeing. You're overseeing because you're seeing over things. And you have a bird's eye view, but people come to you. People are drawn to you. You're attracting people, and they're looking up to you. And it's, whether you like it or not, you're becoming a lookout light. You're becoming the Italian word, the faro. You're becoming a guidance for for people around you. They're looking at you and looking up to you for guidance. And you, in turn, are looking even further up for guidance. It's as if you're being inspired. And you're looking for inspiration. You want the inspiration because there are two levels of you, Leo. There's one that is on the, in that market where you're exchanging goods, and you have that exchange of goods. Then there's another Leo. There's another of you that's high above. Every time I move my hands, I see that these candles are being blocked out. You're high above, and it's a moment when you can come into and out of different layers. You're coming into and out of. It's sort of you're watching, okay? You're watching, you're seeing, you're experiencing, you're exchanging, you're giving, you're taking. And at the same time, I see you there, as if you're with a cigar. Again, I got that cigar in somebody, or a pipe, In this case, it's a pipe. It's actually a pipe that you're you're conjuring up smoke, and it's not as if the smoke was signifying something is going up in smoke. No, it's as if this smoke is making it possible for you to further visualize what you want to hear, what you want to see, visualizing things, messages, ideas, places before your very eyes, so that you can use that information following day. For example, a very prolific moment for dreaming. There'll be precognitive dreams, there'll be premonition, there'll be a lot of premonition there, and there's there's this card of strength. It's not the strength card. This is the equivalent of the sun. It's the Gros Bon Ange. And it ushers in, this is the beginning of the spread. This is the entrance card, Gros Bon Ange. And it also is following, it's ushering in the high priest, the Hierophant. And you're moving into a place where people are looking at you with reverence. They're coming to you and closing up to you. They're literally coming close and feeling your skin. They can smell your skin. They're moving up to you. They're warming up to you. And there you extend yourself a bit and have this exchange with them. And you're under a lucky moment. It's a very extremely prolific moment for you, because what you decide, okay, any area of life, any area of your desires, your livelihood, romance, study, scholarship, whatever it is that interests you, it's a very prolific time for you now. It's as if you're graced with a gift, you know. This is Leo, and it's very interesting to see that the sun will warm that gift, because it's as if the sun is also focusing on, making you focus. It's showing you. It's as if the sun is drawing down its rays. It's you know, it's directing its rays in a certain on a certain thing, in a certain path for you to see. You know, the sun is there to show you. You know, take a look at the sun. See where you are when the sun is up above. When you notice all of a sudden that it's a beautiful day. When you see that there's not a cloud in the sky. Take notice of what you're doing, Leo. I'm going to use these angel tarot cards to see if they can add to this. Yeah, a lot of work, and you're coming and going in your dreams. It's a nighttime fantasy. You're coming and going because your nights during this month of July are going to serve you to escape fear, really. It's in the dreams that you're going to really come into your courage, into your own. And there's a little story here, and I'll, before I pronounce anything, pronounce myself on that before I say anything, I'm going to take the Vera Sibilla on that, because there's a Three of Swords here that, this friend of mine says, a broken heart is an open heart. Hi, Joanne, she's the one who says that all the time. A broken heart is an open heart. And it is true. When your heart is broken, it's open. You are open. You're open. You're open to spirit. You're open to God. You're open to love. You're open to love. And you're open. The only thing you can do is keep it open and understand, And what's interesting here for me to see is that you're working at something. Very, very much so. You're diligently working at something. I want to take, first of all, but it is something that is causing you sort of an inner battle, I'm going to take a look at that first, because it comes under a lucky sun. I mean, it does come under the sun, and what you're working on is geared towards success. Let me take a look at what that is. It is a job, it's a plan, it's a program, it's a project that you've been working on for, as they say in England, donkeys, years. Fidelity, fortune, fortuna, and stanza. And you've been working on it alone. When scholarship is done alone, this may have to do with scholarship, has to do with studies and research. But nonetheless, it's something that you're going to bring forth. And you've been working on it for a long, long time. It's poised for success. It really is poised for success. And again, here this is talking about you going it alone. I'm going to get right next to that. Let's see about this broken heart. Let's see what this Three of Swords is all about. Under the Hierophant, the equivalent of the Hierophant, local card, which really gives you knowledge. It is about higher knowledge. And where is this broken heart? What is that telling us all about? Okay, a missed occasion. There was a missed occasion. Riunione, the meeting, the delirious man, and dispiacere, sadness. There was a missed occasion. There was some sort of meeting, and right before you went, it was either called off, you backed off, she backed off, he backed off, they backed off. The meeting didn't come about. Now I'm going to see why all the tears, why all the sadness, why all the fear, because there's fear there. Fearing, and the fear is making you stay within your home, within your abode, within your tribe, keeping with very close relatives because of fear. And then go in hiding. I see you. Let's see, take a look. There's go in hiding in the sense of not going in hiding, but hiding in your work, hiding in that marketplace, hiding in the exchange of goods, but that's nevertheless hiding. I'm going to take this fear. It is the fear of being alone. It's the fear of being alone, and it's actually the fear of stepping into your light. It's almost as if you're feeling a fear of seeing the light, walking in your light. It's quite interesting this, because I've seen this over and over and over again in my practice, that right before the people who are on their spiritual path and spiritually be developing, right before they really feel so overjoyed and so touched, so light, full of light, that's when the crisis steps in. And this is what I'm getting for you, Leo. Let's see where the move is, because I see this escape and this sort of hiding. Let's see that. Yeah, you're looking for a safe haven with the Donna Maritata, a haven where you can hide literally, and hide where no one else can see you, as if it were la prigione, in the prison. You're alone and you want to go it alone. Okay, that broken heart is the open heart. You're coming in with an open heart, but you are going to Shadowland. I'm calling it Shadowland. You're going to Shadowland. And let's see what the 7 here of Wands is all about. What is the Shadowland? Why are we battling out that Shadowland when we have this lovely wild card here on top? Let's see that. Those both. Yeah, all right. It is. Okay, but it is. The outgoing cards are saying that in this moment of time you are doing anything that will remind you of partnerships, making contracts, signing contracts, putting the, dotting your I's and crossing your T's in the business mercante and Imeneo, because you need to give your attention elsewhere. And this is fairly clear to me. Now, there's one thing that is, I'm going to take another Voodoo Tarot card, because there's something here that that I need clarification with, and they're telling me a partial story, and the wild card ends with it's as if it's saying the sky's the limit, but okay, the Congo 6 Congo Shilibo Nouveau du Dani. This is for many of you Leos out there, you have to do with a water sign. And I'm getting, of course, this is a general reading, but I'm a water sign with a lot of fire in their chart. Now, this is the way it's coming. I'm giving it to you, and it could be a person very close to you, could be a relative. And I see, a lot of you have in very close family that is in your midst, and for some reason that family member, that person, the water with a lot of fire in them, is a person that seems to be to reside in your shadow side for some reason. And of course you might know what I'm saying. It's difficult for me to give you many examples on this, but that person represents to you something that you know very well, that dark side, and they are a complete reminder, they're a constant reminder to you that there is that dark side. And let me see what the Sibila cards have to say about that. Let's see if they can counsel you on that. Okay, let me show you how these have come out. The female lover, the male lover, looking at each other, and the happiness. All right? Now, typically the happiness can call into play family members as well, but this definitely has the person here that we're talking about, the water sign with fire in their chart, is a person who you were romantically inclined with. And trust, this is the outgoing card. And for no other sign have I pulled another card of the Voodoo Tarot. Trust that that is going to come back for you, or it will work out for you, Leos. I'm going to take the runes here. All right, let's see. Okay, here too, the last one, we'll get to that later. What I'm seeing is more of a similar explanation, but here the runes, quite interestingly, are telling me that there's a home and there's a place that you call home. It's not it doesn't necessarily have to be a physical place, but there's a place that you need to go to. You know, it could be a tree. It could be, you know, your favorite tree. It could be this, you know, some place that's very sacred to you. You need to go there, and you need to spend some time, if you can do that this weekend. That's what the first message. The second message is that there's a very important reason why you need to go to that place that for you is sacred. It will replenish your soul, and it will also make you see the importance of coming to grips with an issue that you've been running away with. That's the second message. As you were in the marketplace exchanging goods and were trying to cover up something, broken heart, open heart, they're telling me that in time you're going to be receiving something in your dealings. You're going to be receiving something that will remind you of that relationship. It could be a chance word. It could be even just the sound of water. It could even mean a stalwart, I'm getting the word stalwart, determination, just this sheer determination to make things work. But what I'm seeing is that signs will be coming your way. You'll hear people speak. You're going to hear the sound of water, ice in a glass, and the sadness will come in. You're going to feel it because there are little signs that are going to make you remember. And Manats, the last rune, is telling me that they are trust. It's coming around again. Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope, Leo, that this was of help for you for the month of July. Do have a wonderful month of July. And those of you in the United States, have a great 4th of July weekend. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, till we read together again. Bye-bye.